He has been making and importing shea butter for the past 13 years and is now a household name on the Charleston City Market. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, Ausar Vandross talks to me about his love for photography, his time in the military, and his love, of course, for shea butter. So Ausar, I've known you for many years now, and a lot of people know you as the shea butter guy. But who is Ausar Vandross?
Well, Ausar Vandross is a father, husband, businessman, a pursuer, of happiness.
Yes.
Life. I'm a simple guy, ex-military.
Yes.
Traveled the world, and local boy done good.
That is awesome. Well, you have been making and importing shea butter since 1999.
It's a long time.
It is 13 years.
That's a long time. Yeah.
Tell me, how's it going?
Could not be better. I mean, life is great. Life is fine. Business is just, it's a blessing, Quintin. We've been in this market since 1999, and when you say it, it sounds like a long time, but putting Charleston on the map. It's amazing how a product such, a simple product such as shea butter and African black soap makes such an impact on the community. That we ship shea butter all over the world. People come from all over the world, call from all over the world to order shea butter, and we feel that we are representing Charleston as it should be represented.
And how did you get intrigued with shea butter? Because I understand that a friend of yours from Ghana introduced you to it.
Many years ago, when my wife and I were pregnant with our first child, a good friend of mine gave me shea butter and said, hey, this works wonders on the prevention of stretch marks and at reducing tired, achy, swollen feet and ankles.
Oh, yeah.
And we use shea butter religiously, in the family. We found that not only was it equal to lotion, it surpassed lotions and creams and even cocoa butter for that matter.
Right.
And we've been enamored and intimate with shea butter ever since.
And so what led you to the Charleston City Market?
Well, at that time we were living in Louisiana, but I'm from Charleston,
right.
And my wife and I had honeymooned to Charleston when we got married. She loved the city. It reminded her a lot of New Orleans,
yes.
But it was just a little bit cleaner, a little bit safer.
Yes.
So we moved to Charleston and started setting up in this market not too long after, starting in the night market.
Right.
And I remember the day when we made our first appearance in the day market. And over the years, we moved up and tweaked our product line. And under new management, last year we were offered this shop.
Yes.
And we've been in this shop now, 73 North Market Street, a year.
Yes.
September made a year, and we're happy.
That's awesome. Well, let's walk down memory lane for a moment.
Okay.
As you mentioned earlier, you're from Charleston. When you think of the city, what comes to mind?
Charm, southern hospitality, people working together.
Sure.
When I think of Charleston.
Yes. Well, describe to me the following in one word. Shea butter.
Phenomenal.
Yes. Charleston City Market.
A great place.
Yes. Ausar Vandross.
An enigma?
Yes.
Eclectic? No.
Well, I read that you attended Pleasant Hill High School in Hemingway, South Carolina.
Yes.
Talk about your memories
where'd
about
you
that.
find that? You got some research, man.
Yes.
You dug up. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Pleasant Hill Blue Devils, alma mater, class of '81, a great little bucolic school, a country school. Graduating class was something like 68.
Wow.
And it was a great school. I mean, back when schools were school, when learning was fun, and you know there were no metal detectors, and there was no need for security. It was a great country school. The value of life and the value of education was such that it enabled me to graduate with honors and go on into the military. And I mean, it was the breeding ground of my success.
Well, let's talk about after high school. You actually enrolled into Alabama A&E.
Yes, Alabama A&M. My last duty station in the Army was Redstone Arsenal, which is in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes.
When I got out of the military, you know, I decided to stay right there and go to college. So I enrolled in Alabama A&M. A&M stands for Agriculture and Mechanical.
Right.
Went out for track, didn't make the team, but I was an English major, and it was a great place to continue my education. We called it the Hill.
Is that right?
Yes.
And so what led you to the military?
You know, when you're in high school, coming out of high school, graduating high school, you know, especially if you're a young man, continuing to college, you kind of want a break.
Sure.
You know, and I did not want to go straight into college from high school. I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world. And I'm glad I did, because, you know, the military gave me a discipline that enabled me to succeed in college, succeed in life, and succeed in business. You know, the military is not a bad way to go. It gives you discipline, it gives you structure, and it also gave me money for school.
Yes.
So I mean, you know, it was an experience.
Yes. Well, you know, I know you've been around Charleston a lot recently, taking pictures of random things like posters and you know, cars and whatnot. Tell me, where did the photography bug bite you?
Man, in the military.
Really?
Yeah, really. I mean, I bought my first 35mm camera, you know, at the PX in the Army, an old Nikon. Still have it, as a matter of fact.
Is that right?
And I've been enamored with photography ever since. I mean, I love photography, study photography. I'm currently taking classes in development, in film, at the Charleston Center of Photography. You know, and it's like, photography is a way of expressing myself as an artist.
Right.
You know, and while at the same time documenting my encounters, my experiences, and it's a hobby / passion / business.
Yes. Well, let's talk about family for a moment. I understand that you have 5 kids?
4.
4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Talk to me about them.
Wow. Kids are a blessing.
Yes.
Kids can be a trial. My kids are like me, headstrong, independent, and determined. You know, so as parents, we try to guide them. But I have 3 girls and a boy.
Okay.
And those girls are rougher than a night in jail. and that boy is talented but lazy.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So, you know, they are my inspiration. And, you know, as a parent, as a father, I strive to prepare them for the world that's ahead.
Yeah.
You know, we as parents, you know, we want the best for our kids, but we can't do it for them. So, yeah, I love my children, 3 girls, 21, 17, 8, and my son is 15.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your wife. I understand that you have been married to her for some time now.
18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. By today's standard, that's an accomplishment, you know, but yeah, 18 years. Took my cues from my grandparents. They were married 70 years. You know, they were married 70 years. And today, that's almost unheard of.
Yes.
You know, marriages, people staying together that long. So my wife is my partner, my best friend, my better half.
Yes.
You know, and I don't know, my confidant. Yeah, I don't know where I would be without her. So yeah, she's the better half of this business. I mean, heaven sent would not be heaven sent if it wasn't for Ausar Vandross.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You have conquered photography, Shea Butter, the military. But what's the next chapter for you?
Africa.
Really?
Yes, I'm getting ready to go to Africa. I've got an upcoming trip. I'm going to start importing shea butter and black soap. And to me, I see that as reaching out to Africa. You know, as a businessman, we're doing business on a grander scale. So the final chapter, the final frontier for me is relations with Africa.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Ausar Vandross, it was so good talking to you.
Quintin, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Nice, yeah, looking forward.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.